Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Cowboys trade pitch moves Parsons for top 3 pick and more. Will the Dallas Cowboys trade or extend Micah Parsons? That seems to be the biggest dilemma around the NFL at the current moment. If the Cowboys were to move on from the star, doing so before the draft, so they could replace him, should be the plan. Any trade the Cowboys make involving Parsons has to require them to get a massive haul in return. He's one of the top players in the NFL, and despite whatever team trading for him having to sign him to a long-term extension, there's a price in draft capital that comes with trading for a player of his caliber. Bill Barnwell of ESPN proposed a deal to send him to the Atlanta Falcons, but it's a 3-team trade involving the Cleveland Browns. Cowboys would get number 2 from Browns, number 15, 2026 third-round pick from Falcons. Browns would get number 12, number 149, 2026 fourth-round pick from Cowboys, 2026 first-round pick from Falcons. Falcons would get Parsons. Well, this one won't raise any eyebrows. The Cowboys find themselves in an impossible situation with their roster construction. Last offseason, they waited until the end of the summer to hand out massive extensions to Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. That essentially kicked the can down the road on extending Parsons, whose value has only increased. The top of the edge rusher market has jumped north of $40 million per season, and Parsons only has more leverage to further boost that figure as he nears free agency in 2026, Barnwell wrote. If the Cleveland Browns were to move on from the second overall pick in a deal with the Dallas Cowboys, it could help Jerry Jones find his next Parsons. Some have suggested that Penn State star Abdul Carter is a generational edge rusher, and while he has to prove to be the same dominant player that Parsons already is in the NFL, he'd be the obvious pick if a trade like this were to happen. There could be a chance for them to acquire the next Parsons on a rookie deal. It's incredibly unrealistic to project Abdul Carter to turn into Parsons, but the former off-ball linebacker's production exploded after being shifted to pass rusher. There's a way to make this all work. The Browns have the number 2 pick, but they can't afford Parsons after extending Myles Garrett's contract. Slotting in Carter across from Garrett wouldn't be a difficult choice, but the Browns badly need help at other positions and could add to their league-high draft capital, Barnwell wrote. Despite some of the uncertainties around Parsons and his future with the Dallas Cowboys, there seems to be some momentum growing for a potential extension. Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones spoke to reporters about Parsons' future with the team, adding that they feel good about a potential extension. "We have a great working relationship with Micah," Jones said, according to The Athletic. "Think the world of him. We've had good visits with him. Feel good about where we're headed. There's plenty that has to play out over the next few days to weeks, but the Cowboys have to make a decision before the NFL draft." 2025 NFL Mock Draft, Shedeur Sanders slips, Dallas Cowboys make splash. As the 2025 NFL Draft draws closer, stock continues to fall for former Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders. In CBS Sports' latest first-round mock, Sanders is outside of the first 25 picks for the first time in any major projection. Some of that has to do with free agency, but the family also changed its approach ahead of the draft, with Deion Sanders now saying there's no team preference for his son. Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe-Drew reported interest from the Pittsburgh Steelers, who hold the number 21 overall pick and are in need of assistance at the position after Justin Fields signed with the New York Jets earlier this month. The Las Vegas Raiders could also go after Milroe despite building their franchise around Geno Smith at quarterback. And the Giants, after signing Russell Wilson, are no longer in quarterback necessity mode. The 2025 NFL Draft begins April 24 from Lambeau Field in Green Bay and is expected to see the fewest quarterbacks, 2, taken since the 2022 cycle in the opening round. Milroe and Jackson Dart are considered to be the most liked behind Cam Ward and Sanders. 1. Cam Ward, QB, Miami, Tennessee Titans. Given Cam Ward's recent private workout with the Titans, he appears bound for Nashville. That said, the franchise is willing to part ways with the selection and several teams have interest in the rights to take Ward. Ward might have been a first-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft had he come out following his final season at Washington State. Ward was the ACC's Player of the Year and nearly took the Hurricanes to the playoff. Tennessee needs a long-term option under center, too. 2. Abdul Carter, edge, Penn State, Cleveland Browns. There is talk of Abdul Carter going number 1 overall if Tennessee keeps its selection and fails to find a trade partner. With a stress reaction in his foot issue, Carter could slide, but that's not what CBS Sports projects in this latest mock. He is similar in talent to Micah Parsons and projects to go number 1 in other mocks as well. Carter is a player numerous teams covet despite his injury, so it would not be surprising if there are others moving into the top 5 to get him if he's available after the first few picks. 3. Travis Hunter, ADH, Colorado, New York Giants. If the Giants go best player available here, Travis Hunter is not going to fall to New England at number 4 overall. The Giants need a player of Hunter's talent level just as much. Hunter only handled interviews in Indianapolis and did not participate in on-field workouts at Colorado's Pro Day. That's a clear sign that he's comfortable with what he's shown on film and he's going inside the top 5. 4. Armand Membou, OT, Missouri, New England Patriots. From the back of the first round in January to inside the top 15 a few weeks ago, now former Missouri star Armand Membou has moved to the top 5 in this latest mock. With the Tigers in the SEC, Membou's tape was some of the best in the league, which is part of the reason why he projects to go high. In this spot, Membou grades as the best option ahead of Will Campbell from LSU and Texas offensive tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. 5. Mason Graham, DL, Michigan, Jacksonville Jaguars. Expect the Carolina Panthers to go defense with their number 8 overall selection, but this is the first time Michigan's Mason Graham has been penned in this slot. There is some risk here, however. Georgia edge Jalen Walker is another player who has been picked to go in this spot. Graham and fellow ex-Wolverines defensive lineman Kenneth Grant are interior defensive line mavens expected to go on day 1. It's going to be difficult for Sharon Moore and Michigan in 2025 to replace 2 absolute stalwarts in the middle. Dallas Cowboys named best fit for dynamic day 2 NFL draft RB prospect. It is no secret that the Dallas Cowboys need to bolster the running back room for the 2025 NFL season, after struggling to get anything going on the ground until the second half of the season. In the offseason, the Cowboys have already revamped the running back room with the departure of 2024 leading rusher Rico Dowdle and additions of Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, but there is still some improvement to be had. Matt Bowen of ESPN broke down some of the best fits for 20 of the top prospects in the 2025 NFL draft class and named the Cowboys as the best landing spot for Ohio State running back TreVeyon Henderson. Henderson is a dynamic running back who can also contribute in the passing game, so he would be an intriguing option to add to the offense. Henderson is a slasher in the run game with big play ability once he gets through the second level. But Henderson would bring a dynamic element to the Dallas offense with his receiving skills, too, Bowen wrote. He can operate as a receiver out of the backfield or split out wide to create matchup advantages. Henderson caught 77 passes during his time at Ohio State, and he will see an expanded route tree as a pro, which includes third down reps thanks to his refined pass blocking. Henderson's skill set is exactly what the Cowboys' offense has been missing and the kind of player who Brian Schottenheimer and the new coaching staff in Dallas can make the most out of. If Henderson is available on day 2 when the Cowboys are on the clock, don't be surprised to see the team pull the trigger, especially if Dallas opts for wide receiver in round 1. The 2025 NFL Draft will be held in Green Bay, Wisconsin, with the first round on Thursday, April 24th. Rounds 2 and 3 will be held on Friday, April 25th, while the final rounds will play out on Saturday, April 26th. And you fan? What do you think about TreVeyon's situation? Write to us in the comments.